Hi, welcome to Yo Soy Neighborhoods Fresno. We appreciate you tuning in today. It's April 28th. I just barely looked at the date. We've been housed so long. I know it looks like we're going to get cut loose pretty soon to get out there and start mingling again. We just have to learn new behaviors to be safe until they find some kind of flu shot. That's basically what they're looking for.
That's not going to happen till for about a year.
I know they're coming up with all kinds of quick ideas. Even the doctors. I mean, there was something about if you take antacids, they notice that people that have been taking antacids aren't hurt as much or don't have as many difficulties. So they're exploring that now. So I don't know, you know, it's just something that came up. I mean, I really hope they find out, did China, did this get cut loose because of not following proper procedure to be safe? It's still a mystery. It sounds like to me. What do you think, Anita?
I think humans have so much ego that they think they know more than scientists or doctors, and they just do what they please, and then they get stricken with a pandemic like this and drop dead. I think that's what happens,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Yeah, I think in our society we need to start looking forward and having better not only plans. I mean, it's just like running a household, really. We have to have a little set aside just in case something happens that we don't know what's going to happen. Isn't that kind of how we should run the country? And with all this new stuff that we're doing, you know, Molly the sheep was way back in 1981. And that was when they were taking her DNA and they wanted to reproduce, see if they could reproduce another sheep using her DNA, and they were able to do that. So 81, 91, we really 2001, and now we're in 20. So that's what, 40 years ago or so, or plus. So this is not new stuff. It's just not been advertised broadly to everyone. People, scientists and doctors and analytics like Bruce, they've been dealing with this kind of stuff for quite a while. It's just us lay persons, people, we don't get all of all that information because we're not in the mix. And now that it's popping out, all of a sudden, because yes, we need people that actually can crunch the numbers to come up with the right answers, they're the people that actually can come up with the estimations, true estimations. Actually, my engineering boyfriend, we used to sit there, and he was a civil engineer, so I typed all of his documents, and they would calculate, those big. Uh, I want to say those columns, I guess is the best way to say it, the columns for underneath bridges. They would do the calculation and then they would put a little bit extra. Uh, in other words, if they say the strength should be XYZ, then they would add A to it to be sure they had enough power to hold, enough strength to hold up that bridge. And so these scientists are very good at what they do, these numbers and whatnot.
I think you have to, Jackie wants to come back into chat, but I
Yep.
think you have to send her an invitation, another invitation.
Oh, okay. So
She's trying.
I did. Okay, I'll do it again. No problem. And okay. So we're back on screen. So why don't you, since you've known Jackie, I know that all of us met at CMAC doing our production work and getting involved with editing and going through classes.
Right.
And And since you met Jackie, you met her like a couple of years before you met me.
Oh yeah, yeah, about 2 or 3 years, I guess.
Okay, so that was what, uh, 2014, thereabouts, something like that.
Sounds about right.
Okay, so you've been
Yeah.
working on those productions with her
Mhm.
for that period of time, and um, I know you. It takes so much time to learn how to mesh the conversation that you're having, plus those videos that we bring in. It takes time. I think that we need to share with the audience how difficult this is to produce even these little internet shows so that they can understand and appreciate what we're bringing to the table here. Can you share that, Anita?
Well, it takes sometimes, we start at 10 in the morning, and usually, as far as, and this is in the studio, and it takes until maybe 1:30 to get a show filmed and wrapped. And it involves interview, and it involves going over stories that Jackie has researched for truth. And it's really uh, involved. So you have to, just like what you were saying with the bridges, you have to lay a lot of groundwork first so that it goes smoothly when you are filming. And then after that, there's at least 15 hours maybe for to edit the show for time and for content. And then it's put on the air.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but also setting up because she does have a partner.
Yes, Mantra Withers is her is on the show, and um, Mantra is at the desk with Jackie. They go over the script, and because there is a script, they ask questions that are on the script, and uh, offer opinions and talk about various different subjects and paranormal happenings. So it's really interesting, and it's very educational, I think.
Yeah, that's what I see too, because uh, she brings up the questions. You're questioning. Can you really sense there is some kind of activity there? I mean, even you yourself said to me when you went on that one trip in Washington, you could feel, the ground and the settings. And can you explain that a little bit?
Well, sure. When we go on location, and now Jackie knows the history of these places. Jackie and Mantra has been Mantra and her partner Kyle Gibson are experienced Bigfoot hunters. They filmed, they've recorded, and so they in uh, that's their area of expertise. And so we went on location with them. We've gone on location to many places to film, and when we went with them, it was so interesting because they do know the history. Now, me, I take a different approach because I'm behind the camera, and I want to sort of be surprised in a way so that I capture it with the camera if I can do that. And but they know, Jackie and Mantra both know so much about what we're filming, and it's so interesting from their standpoint, and just from the standpoint of someone who's an observer like me. um, I just I'm so interested and so enthralled actually with what we're filming. I like it so much.
Well, she was sharing with us that it takes her how many hours? It was 4 weeks, 3 weeks.
Oh, sure. To get the show on the air, yeah.
There's somebody else trying to come in? No.
Oh,
No. Anyway, so and then she was saying that they've got 75. You've already done 75.
oh, 75 shows.
Yes.
I knew it was over 60, but I didn't realize it was 75. That's great.
Yeah, and it's interesting because okay, she's done research for 75 shows.
It's
How
a
can,
huge body of work. Yeah.
right, how can somebody say that there's not something going on? There isn't something paranormal.
Well, it's been my experience talking to people that they're afraid of it, and that's why they say what they do. That they'll negate what you say. You know.
Okay, so it's back to avoiding.
Yeah, fear. It's just fear.
Mhm.
And if the truth were right there in front of them, they'd probably faint. So from fear.
Oh, yeah, because we were talking about the Bigfoot experience that you had, and you did have some sense, inner sense, when you went into that territory that there was something there or someone was watching. Didn't you say that you had that
Oh
feeling?
yeah, you do feel like that. And it's just a change of energy actually. Like, if you let yourself be sensitive to that, you can tell when somebody alive is looking at you. So why couldn't you tell if something, an animal or a Sasquatch is looking at you? You can tell. Somebody, or even somebody who's passed on. You can tell, but you have to put yourself in a receptive frame of mind.
Hmm. So there's some kind of energy interruption that you can, that there's a body or something there in
Yeah,
some way.
yeah. So,
Well,
um,
so let me ask you a question. Yeah. Give me a kind of give us a debrief on one of the most interesting ones, shows that you've filmed so far with Jackie or Jackie.
well, we filmed at a costume shop in Modesto, and it was um, a former uh, funeral parlor. And so the owner redid it, and there were costumes there, but it had an odd feeling to it. And when we were filming, and Johnny Pacino was one of the camera people. I was the other one. Uh, all the people in front were in front of the camera that were being interviewed, and um, Jackie was there, Mantra was there, and the owners of the costume shop. When Johnny and I were in the middle of filming, a mask flew off a wall and hit Johnny in the back. And he wasn't near the wall to where he could pull it off, like accidentally or whatever. And we were all facing it. Both of us were facing a different direction. It
Right.
just came from the back of him and hit him. And so, yeah,
So
that was pretty interesting.
yeah, so somebody wasn't happy you were there filming them,
Exactly, exactly. Or wanted attention, you
or
know.
that's another thing. Yeah, wanting attention. I mean, if you're there and they can see you, and but we can't see them, that's a good point. There's got to be
Jackie said she's put her answers into chat. So do you see anything?
no.
Or is it Facebook?
Well, we asked Jackie a couple of questions earlier, and we asked when she started filming this, and that was, she said it was October, Halloween 2013. The other thing I wanted to ask her is, where did she, what brought her to this idea? You want to messenger and ask her that one?
Well,
It was interesting to know that California State University, Fresno, she's been teaching a class on paranormal journeys, and it was very well received. This is the adjunct classes that they have available. Um, uh, it's, I think they have 50 and older, but it doesn't matter what age you are. You can sign up for any of those adjunct classes.
I think the various classes have various age groups.
Oh, do they?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure.
Uh, they're available. You just pay the fee. But she's going to be teaching she's invited to teach class this fall once again. So check that out. Do you know her website address by chance?
Let me ask her really quick.
Okay.
Um, I'm in contact with her on Instagram too.
Right.
Uh,
She had a little difficulty getting onto the Zoom, which everyone out there understands that it takes a little time to practice a few times to get everybody on site on the visual and the audio together. Just like anything else, it's repetition. And this is what you've experienced too, even with Jackie's productions, that I imagine the first one you did, you had no idea that what you were getting into, right?
not exactly, but I had seen a couple of her shows. So as far as the work, um, I didn't understand that part. But as far as the content, yeah, I did. And that was very exciting to me.
Mhm. And when you say as far as the work, how was it different?
Well, just for the setup, because we use a green screen and there are technical things that I didn't know anything about that I learned while, on that show. And also the sound and because we run small videos and people also will Skype in and be interviewed in that way. So I had to learn technical things. But as far as paranormal, I've pretty much studied that for the better part of my life, various subjects within the paranormal realm, and it's very interesting to me. And so I was very interested in being part of the show, and now I count Jackie as one of my best friends. I love her a lot. So, um, do you see anything in the
Mhm.
chat? It's not coming through.
Yeah, no, but that's okay. Um, One of the things I noticed when you and Johnny and Bruce talk about this show is that it lights up your interest in a way. I mean, I can just see it in your eyes that
Yeah.
the reality of something else being there in our space.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And it's not just that, it's other people agreeing with you and shooting that show. You know what I mean? Other people saying, yeah, I had this or that experience. Um,
hmm yeah, and I just really like the audience to understand that our productions are not willy-nilly. It takes us time, even though uh, Jackie's productions are much more polished now. I believe that it's taken her a while to get to that point.
yeah. But she was really, I think she was pretty savvy when she first started. And so now she's just, like you said, polished. She's more polished. But let me give you the website for Jackie to take a look at paranormal things. It's www.cpifresno.org.
Okay.
So that's www.cpifresno.org, and you can reach Jackie and also take a look at the site, and there will be information about the show and also about any new happenings at any new events hosted by CCPI.
Oh, okay. That's super. Yeah, because we need to. Hi, Robert. Um, how you doing? We're talking about Paranormal Journeys. I don't know if you're familiar with them or not.
Hey, Jackie. Jackie's.
No.
I got Jackie on my phone. I know. I have no
What's
idea.
the
Zoom
meeting
cut us
number
out.
here?
Zoom.
Edna,
We were doing a
Yeah,
paranormal.
and it just erased. It
Paranormal.
went to a different
what's the
time.
meeting
And
number?
Pardon me?
What's the meeting number? I'm on my phone. I want to put it on my laptop.
Oh, I see. Okay.
oh, that's one of the Yosoi crew, Robert.
780 401.
Actually, we're still recording, and it'll of course be edited, but I'm thinking maybe,
40.
well, shoot. How
80.
can we record you and just put you on the show? Maybe answers to the show, you know what I mean?
5111.
5111.
Mm-hmm.
Well, your answers and maybe intersperse it with what's being recorded right now.
Can't you just turn the phone audio towards us and ask her questions?
I guess I could. Can you?
Hi, Jack. Can you, are you, hold it.
Can you join us on video chat?
Oh, that's possible.
Why can't we just do that?
Okay. I don't know how she'd record it though.
No, we can't record it. That's the problem.
Yeah,
She had to put it next to the microphone.
right. So I could put you near the microphone. Can you hear? Can you hear okay?
Can you hear us, Jackie? It was better when you were holding it up because we can't hear her.
How's this?
Yeah. Hi, Jackie. Can you see us?
1, 2, 3, testing. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. No, we were just sharing with the audience about, this is actually a Fresno State class now, and you're going to be teaching that in the fall as well, correct?
Good.
Did she hear?
And then what are the age? What's the age group?
Well, it's through the OE program, and that's a 50 plus for seniors, I guess. Only 50 is a little young to be a senior, but anyway, yeah, they asked me last year to teach in the spring. I did, and they went so well. They asked me to teach in the fall, so I will again there as well. So, I mean, we had a couple 80-year-olds, so it was kind of fascinating.
Oh, that's
And
great.
they were fascinating.
Right. Can people, if they're younger than 50, can they pay the fee and join in too? Oh,
I suggest that they need to call the program and ask them ask them that, and maybe they'll start a class for under 50. I don't know.
well, I'm just asking that question because I know there are a lot of people that are under 50 that have a lot of interest in some of this now. Way back when we believed in curanderos and people like that, the Indians prayed to the gods and whatnot, and now it's coming back around. So some people are picking up on that. Did she hear me?
Well, true, and it was yeah, I heard you. So it was real popular for a while, and then it, like everything else, it kind of waned a little bit. So people kind of lost interest, started watching all the reality shows. So and so interest in doing a class kind of got left by the wayside. So after 10 years teaching prior, I stopped, and now I've started up again with a different generation, you might say.
Okay, so are you a teacher by trade?
No, I was in the legal profession.
You were in the legal profession. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know you were
Yes.
you spend quite a bit of time doing the research on each of these shows, and I was trying to just folks to understand when they go onto your CMAC.TV Paranormal Journey shows, you've spent quite a bit of time researching and talking to people at those particular venues that you've selected to share with us, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's a full-time job, and I'm supposed to be retired. But yeah, you have to get the backstory. I mean, I don't want to be another TV reality show. So, but yeah, I mean, the whole format is a talk TV show. So, and we want to talk about paranormal stuff that's strange and weird and unexplained. So, and a lot of times we don't have the answers, but I enjoy bringing the questions, and then the public can view and make up their own minds.
Right, right. So people understand that this is to not make believe. These are actually incidents that have occurred. Now you have 75 shows. Can you share with us which you felt is the most interesting of all those 75 shows?
Right. Oh gosh, there have been a few. I mean, we've done some fun stuff, we've done some serious stuff. I think the one we did at Skinwalker Ranch in Utah, that was good, or Uinta Basin. We did one. We've done a few where we've had guests on where we've just discussed what they do. Barry Fitzgerald from Ghost Hunters International. So he's doing Legend Seekers, and he goes around the world in Ireland to check out legends and truth or myth or whatever. And then there's, there's a couple we've done with just really interesting people. Sasquatch people who out there hunting for Sasquatch and the evidence they found, and even UFOs. We've had the state director for Northern California from MUFON, which is the Mutual UFO Network, and they've been around for years. He came on, he started with crop circles, and now he's up to UFOs, and he had some interesting stories. So, but yeah, there's just so many. But
And
show the pure fun, you know.
one of the points that Anita and I were talking about is that you have 75 shows. How can they continue to tell us that there aren't any paranormal happenings? You know, you've actually done hard research. These are all shows about people that have already witnessed some kind of paranormal happening or sensing that there was a ghost or someone in their area. So how is it that we continually feel like this is untrue?
Well, and you have a good point, but you got to remember too, these are all eyewitness statements. There's no hard proof. So hard proof is what people are looking for. I mean, anybody can have an opinion. Anybody can make up stuff too. So that's why it's so hard for people to believe the eyewitnesses when there's no hard proof.
Right, right, right. Well, hey, I think you're doing a fantastic job, and I just want the audience not to forget during this downtime that we've had. I know that you're probably already working on something else. What's the next show once we get allowed to move around?
I'll go back to the studio. Our next show is going to feature a guy back in New York. His name is Ray, and he runs a paranormal research lab.
Oh.
And he's going to give us a tour and a demonstration. And it's pretty fascinating. And this is what he's doing. He's getting the hard proof. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does. And then we're gonna show our clips from when we did our class overnight field investigation at the haunted hotel. So yeah, that's the next show. That was a show that was meant for March, but the studio ended up closing. So hopefully we'll get to it in June.
Oh, okay. That'll be the haunted hotel, right? Was that the one that was up in the mountains here in Fresno?
Yes, the Sarah Sky Ranch.
Sky Ranch up here in the mountains. Okay. What was that beyond North Fork or Oakhurst, or where is it?
It's at Oakhurst.
Oakhurst. Okay, so that should be interesting. Are you ready to do production, Anita? You feeling better?
Oh, almost ready.
Yeah. Okay. Timing sounds right. We'll all be back at work hopefully by the end of the month here. So this is really an opportunity for everyone to understand what Jackie does with her paranormal show, and that this is really, to me, it's reality, because if there's so many people having that same sensation. I know, Jackie, Anita was sharing that when she and Johnny were at a couple of your productions, they could sense that there was something there. What is your take on all of this?
My take on what Johnny and Anita were experiencing? Is
Well,
that what you're asking?
oh, the experience itself. I mean, it becomes reality when you start to get those sensations. Don't you feel like that?
I always, I don't always experience stuff the way somebody who's gifted would experience it. You know, I'm a little bit more, I'm not psychic, so I'm a little more on the scientific side, so I'm looking for the evidence. So if Anita comes to me and says, Jackie, I don't like that room, I feel uncomfortable, there's something in there, then I'm the one that goes in to the room and does my thing to try to find out if there's anybody there, who it is, what they're doing, if they want something. So Anita's good. She can point me in the right direction, and that lead me to go in and tell if there's anything there.
And I just want to interject that Jackie's the brave one.
Well, these crazy people like us to even get up here and do an interview on things that people just don't want to talk about sometimes, but we need to talk about these things because they're reality. We're not crazy people. There are things that are out there that are happening. And I know Robert's sitting there going, okay, what do you, for you, Robert, I don't know. I know that you're very much into Bible, whatnot.
So, I mean, yeah, if you told somebody this is what you were doing, yes, they would look at you like you're crazy. But the minute you tell them, they're the first ones that have a story to tell. Well, when I was growing up, we lived in a house, blah, 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 blah. So, you know, people they keep the head hidden, but not so much anymore. They want to tell you their experience because they know that there was something going on, but they were too afraid to say it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. No, that's good. I'm glad people are starting to, this virus has opened up a lot of doors that I see. You know, we want to do some talking about, you know, women, the reality that women live through as one of the things I like to talk about. But Robert's here. I know that you're very much into the Bible, but in the Bible, it does talk about spirits, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Very much so. Spirits, demons.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, and they're not all bad. There's some there that they're there for safety too, aren't they, Robert?
Oh yeah. Most definitely. We have guardian angels. Angels are good beings. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, not everything is bad, but I mean, I'm pretty sure there is some type of life after death in some sense.
Right, and
yes, I mean there is. There's the good as well as the bad. So, but you know, you have to just learn how to tell the difference. You know, so.
well, not too long ago, I saw something that they had actually, some scientists had come around some information just by happenstance, I guess, and it had to do with spirits and what happens when we leave this earth, our physical being. And they were saying that was our sense of being was still there. Did you hear about that?
Yes, Stanford did a experiment. Gosh, probably 5 years ago now, and they concluded, and now other universities and research labs are coming up with the same conclusion that when we die, the body dies, the consciousness continues. Now, what it does, what it looks like, where it goes, nobody knows. But they now know that the consciousness does survive.
Oh, well, that's good news then, my Aunt Josie. I hope you're around so you can.
Yes, and you'd be surprised how many relatives come back and check on their loved ones.
Oh, well, that's a good thing. I mean, to me, that would be, it's a blessing. I see it. The more the merrier. We need a lot of help nowadays. So what?
Yes. It's quite common. It's actually quite common.
Okay, okay. Well, I'd be interested now. That fellow that you were talking to in Ireland, does that Loch Ness monster that they talk about, does he have any connection with that?
I I don't think he's tackled Nessie yet.
That's in
He,
Scotland.
yeah, it is in Scotland. So, but I mean, he goes to a lot of. I mean, there's a lot of places, ruins and things. But he delves into the deeper secrets of myths, like there's an island. He's got a podcast going now. It just started, and I think he's on episode 2. And he talks about him and his partner talk about the places they've gone to and the experiences they've had. And he's quite remarkable, even just to talk to him in person, you know, besides the accent, you know, I mean, I could listen to him for hours. So, but he's got definitely some good stories to tell.
If you plan an Irish trip, let me go with you to Ireland. That would be nice.
You know, we had one planned and we had to cancel, and even Barry he's supposed to come to us in November because we're going to be putting on a workshop if this health crisis is over or almost over. So he will be there at that point. So he will be up with us at the Sierra Sky Ranch as our keynote speaker kind of thing. So, but yeah.
Okay, so you're going to have the seminar at the Sky Ranch. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, in November.
In November. Oh, okay. So that people can, if they're interested in joining, can they access that information via your website?
Oh yes, and I will put it on Facebook. So we're just still working on plans and details. So the only thing I've done so far is reserve the hotel, all of the hotel for that weekend. So other than that, now we're planning details and what we're going to be offering as far as workshops go and that kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Do you find that these paranormal situations, do they get a little upset having cameras and more people there than not?
Themselves?
You mean the
The
ghosts?
entities themselves?
Yes.
Yes, they do. They can. Yes, you're correct. They do get, especially with a lot of people. There's some out there that believe that the flashes from the cameras are very disconcerting to the spirits. But yes,
Okay.
they do get upset.
Okay. And I noticed one of the programs I saw, they had this special piece of equipment that can show shadows. Does that really work?
What's called they do it by grid. It's called a laser grid, and they flash that on a wall, and so you're able to, if a shadow or if a shadow walks by through that grid, you'll see the outline. But yes, that's the one you're talking about.
Oh, and Jackie, could you talk a little bit about some of that equipment that we use to detect movement and spirit?
Let's see, first you start with the camera, where we have a recorder that's both digital. Do not use cell phone cameras or cell phone audio devices. Let's see, we also use what's called an electromagnetic field detector, EMF for short. That lets us know if there's another energy source close by. Could be a ghost, could not be a ghost, could be man-made, but it's up to the investigator to find out which it is. And we know ghosts are made up of energy. So, and we know that energy can't be destroyed, only transformed. So whenever we detect an extra energy source that shouldn't be there, then we have to decide if that's a ghost or if it's something man-made. Like running water. would be an energy source. So is there a pipe, a water pipe, or is there a stream or a lake or some kind of water source? Then there's that does that, and it can come in handy. We also use, there's what they call spirit box, and they allegedly pick up a ghost answers to certain questions. So spirit box scans radio waves, and so supposedly the theory is that the ghost speaks through the spirit box when they're static. So I guess it gives them energy. So, I don't know. Sometimes they use the words that the speaker on the radio is using. I'm not a big fan myself, because I think if you've got a good recorder and a good sense of a good instinct, I think you don't need all that. But that's me. A lot of people swear by them and they have good luck with them. Let's see, what else do we use? Motion sensors, see if it picks up anything's moving around. Mostly what it comes down to is using your own gut, your own instincts. You know, sometimes you walk into a room thinking about what you had for dinner, and all of a sudden the hairs stand up on your arms and you get goosebumps going up and down your spine. So, you know, when you're least expecting it. So those are the kinds of things that I look for. But that lets me know something's going on. Something's here. It's either a huge transformer or it's a ghost. One of the two.
Well, I have a crazy question. If there are any animals like a dog or a cat, do they sense this?
Sometimes they can. Depends on the animal. Not all animals do that, but some do.
Oh, okay. Well, this is really interesting stuff, and people that are interested in your class, it's going to start in September.
We haven't set the dates yet, but yes, generally it'll probably start in September, maybe first part of October.
Oh, okay. Well, that should be interesting, and we should watch for that Sky Ranch interview and seminar that you'll be having. And people can sign up for that to attend, or is it limited, or how's that?
It's not limited as far as I know. I mean, we had 20 students last time. That's about average. So, but I mean, I'll post it. It'll be on, we'll advertise it on the show, and then we'll post it on Facebook. And so it'll be out there. You just have to try to catch it.
Okay, okay. Well, I would encourage everyone to know that we are in an era that I think that we're going to be starting to discover a lot more about ourselves and about our afterlife. That we have scientists now coming up and confirming that there's a life after death.
Yes.
Pretty much, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
Yes.
our after 50 lives are a little more interesting than before.
Yeah, well, that's true. And we seem to be more concerned with the afterlife, and if there is one. So, but yeah, I think people are waking up. I think they're being more aware. You know, I think that, and it's not just traditional religion. I think it's the other faiths that are all, you know, believing, yeah, you know, this is really happening. We don't die, you know, we don't die.
Right. Well, hey, that's good news in some ways.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So, yeah, I know, Robert, we were earlier, Anita and I were talking about people under 50. Do you feel like they're getting more interested in this type of stuff?
I really don't know. I haven't had no conversations with anyone pertaining to life after death. I mean, I think it's more so getting ready for it, like preparation, reading the word, trying to get closer to God, try to figure out if that other part exists too. That heaven and hell. So it's decision making in life, preparation for the after. So
Well, the
Yeah.
thing is, I'm just trying to figure out if people under 50 are really realizing, are they more in tune with, before we know so much more now than we did 40 years ago. And as we progress through this time, do you feel like people are more in tune with our humanness?
oh, I'm sure with just this experience right here with this coronavirus, and I think it kind of opened up a lot of people's eyes to the fact that like a car wreck or anything like that can show how fragile human life is. And I just think like this experience itself has putting people's families in the hospital, or even killed some, have taken the lives of some. So I mean, anything that can affect you in a way where it puts you at a place where you don't feel comfortable with your life being, if you're going to make it to another day. I mean, I think that kind of opens people's eyes up to the fact of how fragile life really is.
Right, right. Okay, well, Jackie, we'll hopefully we'll get to redo this interview after November, and it should be some interesting stuff. And everyone, watch for the show on CMAC TV. It's called Paranormal Journeys. If you have time, the 75 shows that she's already posted on the CMAC.tv are available. Correct? Isn't that right, Anita? You're a board member.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we are still running those. Yep.
Yeah, they can go to facebook.com/paranormal journeys and like our page. They can, I always post things that are coming up and interesting articles, some funny, some serious. So just like our page.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, so, well, I appreciate the time, and hey, we're learning all these electronics. Where there's a will, there's a way, right, Anita?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Plan A, go to plan B and C.
Yeah.
Wait, plan B, but plan A, B, and right. Sometimes you need a D.
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. Appreciate everyone's time. Glad, I'm glad to see Anita's feeling so much better, aren't you, Jackie?
Yes, she's looking pretty crummy there for a while.
Yeah. Thank you, Jackie.
So,
Yeah.
Need
Yeah, I know. My doctor told me yesterday or today actually that I could have croaked. So hey.
yes,
oh,
yes.
I was trying to figure out.
No, I didn't. Even at the time, I didn't realize. So
Yeah, but that can't happen to me. I'm not gonna die.
that's right. That's right.
But remember, in the spirit world, we're still visitors.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful. I like that idea because, hey, I mean, we put a lot of effort into this life. So if we can continue to help others, that would be great.
And come over for menudo or something.
There you go. Okay, Jackie, you take care. Everybody look for class. It's the,
And
what did they call it again? What is your class called? The, for them to look it up on the state.
I think Ghosts and Hauntings, and it's through the FS, Fresno State University. It's the OLI program, OLII. They can just look that up, and they usually publish a flyer and a pamphlet with all the classes listed. So, yeah.
OLII.
yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited. I didn't know that you were teaching a class at Fresno State, and that's exciting that there's a high interest in this. So I
Well, are you over 50?
What's that?
You over 50?
Am I over 50?
Go ahead,
Yeah,
admit
you're
it,
over 50.
Edna.
Yes,
Just,
of course.
just it's hard to admit, huh?
I didn't know she was asking me if I was 50 or not, and I wasn't quite sure. But yes, I'm 65. Proud of it. Many years of work.
Eligible, why don't you take my class?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll go with.
yeah, that sounds like I would, and I'm very interested, but I'm just trying to get this production work down. But let me tell you, I'll definitely, if one time I have an opportunity, I'd like to.
Yes, I will go with you. I'll sign up.
Hmm. Yeah, it would be interesting. We can get Robert some white hair. No, I just kidding. Oh my goodness.
No time soon, please. No time soon.
We
I
have,
don't want those like I don't want grandkids right now.
you don't have, as long as you have children over 18 or 16, you have no control over that.
Yeah, well,
Just,
they're being good about it.
just be having accept all. All righty. Thank you, Jackie, for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on. We had fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Glad to see Anita's smiling face.
I'll see you later, Anita.
Okay, see you later.
Love you all.
Love
Bye-bye.
you. Love you, Jackie.
Take care. See, in this business, we don't know what's going to come up. And I think Robert made a good point. He says, I love it when you guys, what was it? You guys all separate and do your own thing, but when we need to come together, we're here. As
Yeah.
right? And that's really what it's about, because this production work that we're doing, it's really difficult in a lot of ways, right, Anita?
It can be. It can be. Nothing ever goes smoothly. It just doesn't. It's kind of Murphy's Law. As far as broadcasting, forget it. Something's always going to go wrong.
Well, one of the things I know with the Skype that we've had difficulty, so now that this virus has really shown the governor that we need in Central California, we need more broadband surface.
Yeah.
Yes, that would resolve a lot of the issues that we do have in production. Rerunning the Fire on the Mountain video, and we didn't have audio on that. I didn't know, but you know, we were doing a lot of different things. So, you know, being set up, the setup, it's not just the set, but the mics, the TriCaster, and then when you're going over there, I'm saying, oh, I pulled it up on the computer, and then you have to merge. Talk to everyone about merging those videos.
Yeah, well, you have to sync everything, but then there's also lighting. Lighting is very important, and it's not always a snap to do that, you know. It's just, all of it can be really touchy and difficult, and if somebody has come in before you and changed all the settings, you're kind of, yeah, messed up. So, yeah.
They do it all the time, and they don't put it back. So those are details like us older, more seasoned adults, we're trained to do that, you know. So we get a little miffed, but we don't say anything. So
I do.
is
Anita.
the thing is, I guess I'm trying to relate to the audience. Somebody was saying, oh, you're old. So I've had this happen to me several times. I don't know if it's happened to you, Anita, but even at the grocery store, we're looking at something that is electronic, and they just assume we don't know what we're doing or we don't understand. So what has your experience been with that?
Well, I just generally ignore them because, and I always think, you know, what goes around comes around. Someday somebody's going to say that to them. Ha ha. You know.
it's gonna be worse.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's gonna be worse for them because technology is going,
Yeah.
it's going even further, and so either they're gonna be very, you know, very in the loop or out of it. You know, it's just like that, and it's always worse. It doesn't get better because the generations are getting less family oriented. They're becoming less less adult proven. The kids are already like, not trying to
I have a little niece.
give credit to the generations before them. So it's only a matter of time where everybody's just disrespecting everyone.
Well, we have 2 minutes left, and I really think, to your point, Robert, this virus has really opened up that floodgate. I believe that people really have good intentions. They just have ill training because discrimination is taught in the home. That's how you're socialized. And people need to start recognizing that. And any psychologist that you go to, marriage family counselor, everyone should try that once.
Mm-hmm.
Like Anita said before, our biggest problem as human beings is our ego. It gets in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Anita?
Yeah. And if you can't acknowledge someone else's existence, like, to like the simple thing of when you go somewhere, wear a mask. Come on. Maybe it's not for them, it's for you. Like me, I have to because I'm at high risk because I had pneumonia.
Right.
But, do it for yourself and just have some respect for something as big and scary as a pandemic. Hello. But people don't want to acknowledge anything besides their own egos. And
Well,
it's just,
there's in life, there's good, bad, and indifferent. And we all need to just learn to have a little bit of space for maybe that's the way they view things, or maybe that's how they were socialized.
yeah, and walk away. What's it going to cost you?
Nothing. But one of the things that we can't tolerate is being bad, evil to us women. And I mean, that to me is intolerable. And also that not accepting of all people, regardless whether they're purple, green, whatever their color is, whatever language that they speak, we need to be together because we help each other. Even without, I've been to places where I didn't speak the language, but I could look at that person and talk to them, and we had a conversation with our hands and pointing and just that.
Here comes your clothes, Edna. Say goodbye.
One, hopefully we'll be in the studio soon so you can see another paranormal journey. Love that, Jackie. Love you, Anita. Thanks you tuned in. You're watching Yo Soy Neighborhoods Fresno. Take care, everyone.
All right,
Bye,
God
Edna.
bless.
Bye, Robert.
Oh, bye. I'm